Touchdown, Alabama, let's get it.
The process, no one can stop this. Hottest show in the streets, I bet you can't top this. Rammer, jammer, yellow hammer, come see how we rock this. Alabama fans the best, there's no way you can top this. Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
Recruiting news and interviews, just sit back and watch this.
The process.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Process, Crimson Tide Recruiting. I am your host, Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine. If you're not subscribed to Touchdown Alabama on YouTube, go ahead, do that really quickly for me. Hit that subscribe button below. Also, be sure to leave a like whether you are subscribed or not. You guys are going to find me here every Tuesday and Thursday evening on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page to break down the latest in Crimson Tide football recruiting news. On today's show, I want to preview another big weekend for the Crimson Tide as they will have several official visitors on campus. But before I got an opportunity to dive into those guys, I do want to talk about four-star defensive end Cyrus Moss in the 2022 recruiting class. Moss is a product of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. He got an opportunity to unofficially visit Alabama this week. Said it was a great visit, had a great time in Tuscaloosa. Got an opportunity to work out in front of the Tide's coaching staff, work out under the Tide's outside linebacker coach Sal and Siri, and he said it was a blast. He said he loved Coach Sal after that particular workout. He said that Coach Sal and Siri had that fire in him. He had a lot of great things to say about that visit. Talked a lot about the Tide's top-notch facilities. Said he felt that they were prepared for everything. He is a prospect that has taken a couple official visits during the summer. He has officially visited Notre Dame. Also has taken an official visit to Oregon. He is scheduled to officially visit Arizona State this weekend. He said he's going to keep his recruitment open heading into the fall. He will continue to stay in contact with multiple programs, including Alabama. The Crimson Tide could be in line to get an official visit from him during the fall, so that is something to pay attention to moving forward when it comes to the four-star defensive end out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. But now I am going to turn my attention to what Alabama fans want to know about the official visitors this weekend, and this is going to be another huge weekend in Tuscaloosa, starting with 2021 five-star defensive end, the number one player in the 2021 recruiting class, is still on the board. He is scheduled to officially visit Alabama this weekend. And of course, I'm talking about JT Moala out of Washington. He has taken a couple of official visits this summer. He has taken official visits to Oregon, has got an opportunity to go to Columbus to officially visit Ohio State, has seen USC, has seen Washington as well. And this was something that we have always known was going to happen. We have always known that JT wanted to wait till he could get an opportunity to take a couple of official visits before he made an official decision. He did not sign during the early signing period because he wanted to do this. He did not even sign during the traditional signing period to enroll in the summer. He wanted to take visits before he announced and signed a national letter of intent, and he did just that. Got an opportunity to take official visits to the schools that he had wanted to take. He has officially visited, like I said earlier, USC, Oregon, Washington. He has officially visited Ohio State as well. Scheduled to visit Alabama this weekend. I think this gives Alabama a good opportunity to make a statement into Moala's recruitment. They have been involved for a very long time, and I think that speaks for itself. And I think Alabama has an opportunity to possibly land one of the top players in the 2021 recruiting class, add to Darren Plesser's 2021 class at a inline defensive end, which is a position that Alabama did not really go after that hard in the 2021 recruiting class. You add a guy like JT, you get some more depth at that position, a position group where Alabama is pretty loaded at the moment. I must say that as well. But JT Moala is a great get. He's a kid that you definitely want to go after. That is one of the reasons why Alabama has continued to keep that spot open, although he is a kid that has held off his commitment for so long. He was supposed to be on a campus by now, like most of the 2021 recruiting class, but he is a five-star recruit for a reason. He is a prospect that programs are going to wait for, so we are going to see how Alabama can impact his recruitment on this weekend as they will host him for that official visit. The next prospect I want to talk about is Tyler Booker. He will officially visit Alabama this weekend. He is a four-star offensive lineman out of IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Like a lot of these prospects, he has been busy taking a lot of visits this summer. He has seen Ohio State, he has seen Oregon, has had an opportunity to visit Georgia as well, has visited the University of Florida as well. So he has been around during this month, and Alabama will get an opportunity to be the last school to host him for an official visit during the month of June. And this is an official visit that has been in place for over a month now. This was one of the first official visits that Tyler Booker scheduled. He scheduled it because he was building such a strong relationship with the Tide's offensive line coach Doug Marrone, and they have continued to build their strong relationship. This is also a prospect who has a great relationship with one of the Tide's true freshmen in J.C. Latham. He told me at the Under Armour camp earlier this year, a couple of months ago, he told me that J.C. Latham was like a blood brother to him. So he has that connection with the Alabama program, along with that strong relationship that he has been able to build with Doug Marrone. He will officially visit Alabama this weekend. I feel it is safe to say that Alabama is definitely among the top programs in this recruitment. I felt that they were the leader heading into the end of the recruiting dead period, but it looks as if a couple of teams like Florida and Georgia have caught up and gained some ground with Alabama in the push for the 4-star offensive lineman. But I think this visit gives Alabama an opportunity to make some and create some separation for themselves in their push for the 4-star offensive lineman out of IMG Academy. They will also host a 2022 5-star defensive back out of North Shore High School in Houston, Texas, and Denver Harris. Harris is a guy who has a top 4. Inside of the top 4, you have Alabama, of course, you have Texas A&M, you have Texas, and LSU as well. He has taken visits to all of those schools. He has visited Georgia as well. He will officially visit Alabama, and I think this gives Alabama an opportunity to secure the #1 spot in his recruitment, in my opinion. I feel this way because Alabama has been involved in his recruitment for a couple of years now. I remember when he offered him as a freshman, and Nick Saban told him on that day that he was going to be one of their top targets in this 2022 recruiting class, and that statement has remained true from the veteran head coach at Alabama. And I think that is something that speaks highly of the Alabama football program and their coaching staff's honesty, but it also is going to speak to Denver Harris, showing that Alabama has seen him as a priority for a couple of years now. So I think this gives Alabama an opportunity. This official visit gives Alabama an opportunity to secure the #1 spot in Denver Harris's recruitment. Jake Pope will also be on the campus of the University of Alabama to take an official visit this weekend. Pope is a product of Bruford High School in Bruford, Georgia. He's projected to play safety at the next level, most likely. He reminds me of a Tyrann Matthew type of guy, a guy who can really make some highlight plays in the secondary, a guy who's exciting to watch. He gets it done on both sides of the football for Bruford High School. He will officially visit Alabama this weekend. He has had a busy June as well. Like I said, we look at most of these recruits, they are taking the visits, they are taking advantage of the recruiting dead period coming to an end on June 1st. He has visited programs like Notre Dame. He has seen Ohio State, so he'll get an opportunity to visit Alabama on this weekend. I think Alabama can make a statement in his recruitment as well. This is a guy who could be closing in on a decision. I think Alabama could put themselves in a great position by having a great visit in Tuscaloosa with this safety prospect. When we look at Alabama's recruiting board, the safety position is a bit of a question mark at the moment. They are going after a couple of different cornerback prospects, a long list of lengthy defensive backs that they are going after in this 2022 recruiting class, but the safety position still remains a bit of a mystery in terms of some of the Crimson Tide's top targets at that position. I think that recruiting board is still getting put together as we speak, and I think Jake Pope is one of their top targets at the safety position here in this 2022 recruiting class. And like I said earlier, I think Alabama could put themselves in a great position for the Georgia product with this official visit on this weekend. Alabama will also host another Georgia prospect in 2022, offensive lineman Dane Shore. He will be on the campus of the University of Alabama after taking official visits to programs like Tennessee, Texas A&M. Has had an opportunity to visit Oregon this summer as well. He's one of those guys, like I said with all of these guys has been making sure he takes all of his visits, and he has not been shy about his interest in Alabama as of late. Over the last couple of months, he has constantly said that he loves the University of Alabama. Got an opportunity to come to Tuscaloosa on A-Day in April to take in the campus, got a chance to experience a bit of a game-like atmosphere on A-Day, and he said he loved that particular experience. Got an opportunity to speak with Coach Saban a couple of different times, so I think this will be a great opportunity for Alabama to strengthen this position for Dane Shore. It will be an interesting official visit for sure. 5-star defensive end Omar Abar will take a trip to Tuscaloosa as well. When you look at Abar's recruitment, he has taken official visits to LSU, Oklahoma, and also Ohio State this summer. At the beginning of this 2022 recruiting cycle, I pointed out that I felt the defensive end position was going to be a priority for Alabama in the 2022 recruiting class, because when you look at their roster, the prospects and the players that they have at that particular position are getting older in terms of guys who are going to be juniors and seniors this upcoming season. When you look at guys like Justin Eborby, LeBron Ray, those guys are getting up there in age in terms of becoming juniors and seniors, and I think Alabama needs to re-up on basically defensive ends in this 2022 recruiting class, and I think they have gotten off to a great start. When you look at Jaheim Otis, he is a guy who could possibly be a defensive end, an inline defensive end within Alabama's defense at the next level. And 4-star defensive lineman Omar Abar is definitely a prospect who fits right into Alabama's defensive line and what they do with their defensive ends within that defense that they run under Pete Golding and Nick Saban. Omar Abar has had this official visit locked into the University of Alabama for more than a month now. He said he has a great relationship with the Crimson Tide's coaching staff. When I talked with him when he set that official visit in May and made it public that he was going to officially visit Alabama on this weekend, this is going to be another big opportunity for Alabama to get in a great position with one of the top defensive ends in this 2022 recruiting class. This weekend will also give Alabama another opportunity to host a running back in the 2022 recruiting class. 4-star running back Nicholas Singleton does plan to take an official visit to Alabama this weekend. He has visited Wisconsin, Penn State, and also Notre Dame this summer. He plans to take this official visit to Alabama this weekend because he has been building a great relationship with the Tide's running back coach Robert Gillespie. He has had an opportunity to speak with Coach Saban as well over the last couple of months. Of course, Alabama does have those two running backs verbally committed in the 2022 recruiting class, and 5-star running back Emmanuel Henderson also has a commitment from 4-star running back Le'Veon Moss out of Louisiana. With the Crimson Tide losing 2 running backs to the transfer portal, it is a bit interesting to see. It is going to be a bit interesting to see how Alabama continues to recruit running backs in this 2022 recruiting class. A couple of months ago, I would have said 2 running backs in this 2022 recruiting class for the Crimson Tide is going to be the number that they are going to settle for. But it could be a situation where if it's the right guy, they may take a 3rd running back in this 2022 recruiting class after losing Keelan Robinson and Kyle Edwards to the transfer portal. So that is an interesting development that I will just keep my eyes on if I was an Alabama football fan. But Alabama will have an opportunity to host Nicholas Singleton, get a chance to get him on campus, which was one of the things that Robert Gillespie wanted to do this summer. Get him on campus, let him get an opportunity to see what Alabama football has to offer and how they stack up against some of the other schools in this recruitment. So Nicholas Singleton is an interesting prospect to watch out for on this weekend. But that would do it for this episode of The Process. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on Touchdown Alabama's YouTube page. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below. Also be sure to leave a like whether you are subscribed or not. Then head over to touchdownalabama.com. Pick up your subscription today. With that subscription, you get an opportunity to read our in-depth scouting reports on each side committed each recruiting class. Get an opportunity to read our yearly print magazine issue as well. So be sure to pick up that subscription so you can get an opportunity to read all of our subscriber only articles over at touchdownalabama.com. Then head to the Google Play Store if you have an Android device, to the Apple App Store if you have an Apple device, to download the Touchdown Alabama app. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama magazine.
Process.